Welcome back to the Keep It Bright podcast and to part 2 of how to love, accept and embrace your body. So something I just wanted to say was, obviously we are so much more than how we look, and it shouldn't matter how we look, and it shouldn't matter what our bodies are like or our faces are like. But that is the world we live in, where our confidence can be affected by these things, where if we feel insecure and if we feel unconfident, it affects us overall. It affects our happiness, and it affects so much about our daily lives, really, how we feel about ourselves, how we perform. And the love we accept, the treatment we accept from others can so be impacted by how we feel about ourselves. And I think being confident and accepting your body and feeling good about yourself has a lot to do with that, which is why I want to talk about it. Not because I think it's all important, because of course it's not. You are so much more than what you look like. You are so much more than what your body looks like or what your face looks like. And never lose sight of that, please, because there is so much more to you than just being aesthetically pleasing. I just want you to feel empowered and confident and beautiful. I want you to feel good about yourself. I want you to own that power you have. And it feels so great. It feels revolutionary to be like, fuck your beauty standards. Fuck all of you trying to make me feel like I should be smaller or be different or that I need to change to feel good about myself. Honestly, there's nothing I love more than seeing people feel good in themselves. I did a little poll before I started recording, and it was about like who loves their body, who doesn't feel confident in it. Honestly, seeing people say that they love their body, I cannot tell you the joy it sparks in me, because I know how hard it is to get to that place. I know how hard you fought to get to that place. You fought society, you fought your own thoughts, you fought countless outside sources telling you you're not good enough to get to that place where you can say, I love my body. And it's just one of the most, just beautiful things to see. I love to see people, especially women, feel that way about themselves, because it is revolutionary and it is just so empowering, and I love to see it. So I just want to help more people to feel that way and to feel good about themselves. So I'm going to talk about a few tips that I have to help you get to that place. So one of the things I touched on was exposing yourself to more. So more variety. There is so many types of bodies and faces and just skin, all kinds of things out there. And if you're only used to seeing whatever you're seeing, maybe you're not seeing enough. There's a couple of things I would recommend that I found really helpful myself. Like I said, I wasn't exposed to loads growing up. So now with Instagram, obviously you see so much, but you also only see what you like. So it's good to be aware and wary of the accounts that you follow. If you follow a ton of celebrities and influencers, chances are a lot of them have similar body types or look a certain way, and maybe that's nothing like you. I would recommend following, in general, more body positivity accounts that normalize all kinds of bodies and show you a diverse mix of bodies and people. So I would definitely recommend following a lot more body positivity accounts in general, but then also following people who look more like you, whether that's facially or your body type or whatever it is. Honestly, following people with similar body type to mine made me really embrace and love my body type more, because when I see them, I'm like, yes, girl, get it. Like, I love seeing them rock it, and it makes me feel so good about my body type too. So that I definitely would recommend finding, whether they're influencers or just anyone online or even celebrities, people who have similar body types to yours and look like you. Like, it'll make you feel good about you, because when you look at somebody else, you're a lot less likely to be critical of them in the same way you are of yourself. So seeing more of that will encourage you to feel the same way about you and celebrate those same things in you. So I love that. So I definitely recommend doing that. And then maybe unfollowing anyone who is filter heavy, who uses a lot of Facetune, who is doing a lot of editing, because again, subconsciously when you see their filtered, edited pictures, your brain doesn't question that if it's real or not. Your brain will just think, oh, that's what people look like, whereas they probably don't look like that. So just be aware of what you're following in your online space and add in more good stuff there. A account that I think is amazing is the Vulva Gallery, I think it's called. I'll tag it in the notes on Instagram. When I found this page, I just wish I'd found it when I was younger. I'm sure it's the same for people of all genders, but again, genitals is such a weird word, isn't it? Genitals are something that you're not really ever exposed to so much of when you're younger. You don't really see that much of it. Like, you see your own and that's kind of it, right? And it's one of those where the more you see, the more normalized everything is. So Vulva Gallery is this amazing account on Instagram. They do illustrations of different like vulvas, and it's just incredible. I wish I'd seen an account like that when I was so much younger. I think that needs to be literally in like schools and stuff, that kind of thing, so that everybody can feel like their body is normal and that those things are normalized, and that we're just seeing so much more diversity. We grow up feeling so much more confident within ourselves. The same for things like boobs and stuff. Like, you don't really see that many boobs when you're younger, like not out of bras, and then you learn as you get older, obviously, like no two boobs are the same, like, and even in a pair of boobs they don't look the same. Like, it's all so different. There's so much variety out there, and you learn other things like boobs are obviously designed for breastfeeding, that's why they hang a certain way, and that's why this and that and that, and it's all learning, exposing yourself to that stuff that we're unfortunately not taught young, or we're not taught in school, and just exposing yourself and normal to all this stuff, normalizing it more. Something that's quite probably you might think it's a bit of a weird suggestion, but something that I again found really interesting, and it helped me see and realize how many different kinds of bodies there are out there, is program, I think it's on Channel 4, it's called Naked Attraction. And it is a bit ridiculous. It's like a dating show where they just pick each other based off naked attraction. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some absolute idiots on there saying very stereotypical things, but for the most part, it's really cool to see how many totally different and amazing like bodies there are, and that there's just so much variety out there anyway. So shows like that are good because, again, you don't really see naked bodies on TV. I think that's quite a casual watch, really, if you want to see some variety. Also, I want you to remember, like I said earlier, it is a practice. You are unlearning something you've thought for years, or you've thought to be true for a long time. So it's about slowly challenging those thoughts every day and just fighting a bit more against them, so that the balance is better between your positive kind of self-talk voice and the negative self-talk voice. So practicing things like saying affirmations in the mirror, or telling yourself that you're beautiful, telling yourself you look good. Like, I used to do this to build up my confidence, and sometimes now I'll still just say it, not to build up the confidence, but when I look good, I tell myself I'm like, damn, you look good. And it's like, just compliment yourself, like be a cheerleader for yourself at all times. Like, you should for your whole life anyway, but especially with areas like this, if you need the extra boost, like, be your own cheerleader. Tell yourself you look good, tell yourself you're beautiful, tell yourself you're perfect, tell yourself that you look cute today, you know, just do the most and you'll start to believe it, because we do start to believe whatever we tell ourselves. If you tell yourself you're not good enough, if you tell yourself you need to be different, if you tell yourself that there's something wrong with you, you're going to believe that. That is what you're going to believe. That is the only thing that's wrong, is the mindset. The way you're thinking about yourself is the only thing that's wrong. If you tell yourself you're perfect, you're a fucking angel walking on this earth, that you're a goddess, that you look amazing, you're going to start to believe that. Gas yourself the fuck up, honestly. Do yourself a favour and just gas yourself up, even if you feel silly when you're saying it because you don't believe it yet. The more you say it, the more you look with love, the more you'll believe it. God, I feel passionate about this topic. Can you hear me shouting? I'm literally fucking shouting across the room. But I just fires me up, man, fires me up. Other things to remember is you don't have to be beautiful like them. You're beautiful like you. Look at you and then look at your group of friends. Look at your loved ones. Look at anyone you love. You probably think they're all beautiful, right? You think they're beautiful in their own way. Look at all the celebrities you admire. They probably don't look anything like each other, but they're all beautiful, right? One being beautiful doesn't cancel out the other being beautiful. Admire someone else's beauty without questioning your own. So take, for example, two hugely famous women, two stunning women, Jennifer Lopez, Beyoncé, okay? They don't look like each other. They're both absolutely stunning. Does J-Lo being stunning make Beyoncé any less stunning? Absolutely not. Does Beyoncé being beautiful make J-Lo any less beautiful? Obviously not. It's incomparable. You can't compare your beauty to somebody else's because you're unique. It's your beauty. It doesn't make somebody else being attractive doesn't make you less attractive. It just doesn't work like that. We can all be beautiful at the same time, and we don't have to look like each other to achieve that. There's that quote, what is it? It's like fairy lights, Christmas lights, and roses are both beautiful. Right, I'm just paraphrasing this, probably butchered it, but it's something like fairy lights and roses are both beautiful. Sunflowers and sunsets are both beautiful, but they're nothing like each other. Same goes for people. You don't have to be, if you're a sunflower and she's a rose, you're both beautiful, you're both perfect as you are. And I talked about this I made this little How to Love Your Body zine years ago, and I want to make a proper book version of that, actually, like a better version. But I talked about how with nature we don't compare sunflowers to roses. We just accept them as their own individual beautiful thing. We don't wish a sunflower was a rose. We don't wish a tulip was blossom. Like, they all have their own unique beauty just like us, and we accept them for exactly what they look like because they're natural and they're beautiful. But we too are natural and beautiful, and we should be accepting ourselves and thinking, wow, what a masterpiece, instead of, oh, why don't I look more like this person? Hope you get my drift on that, because it is just all about acceptance and admiration for what we are, instead of thinking about what we're not or what could be different. Something that I'm loving seeing is, as much as filters and editing and things are on the rise, so is people normalising things like skin texture and blemishes and acne, body hair, stretch marks, bloating, all that kind of stuff just rolls. Like, all these little things that we have thought for so long were flaws or imperfections are just normal things that we all have. Nobody looks the same when they sit down as to when they stand up. Like, our bodies aren't solid pieces of paper or cardboard that just move around like robots. Like, we are soft, flexible beings. Obviously, our body's going to look different when they sit down. They're going to look different when they're full of food. They're going to vary and look different all the time. And that is so important to normalise. And I'm loving seeing people normalising, like, I've seen a few videos on like TikTok of people like, here's me in my dress before I ate my meal, here's me afterwards. Like, bloating is normal on any body size, and food babies and all of that. Just it happens to all of us, and that's all normal. And especially things like body hair. So I'm obviously Asian, and yeah, I've got dark, thick hair, like dark hair on my arms. I've got dark hair all over. That's just my genes, that's just my makeup, that's just my DNA, that's how it is. But again, I didn't really have many Asian friends growing up. I had friends who had fair body hair. You couldn't even see it, like you couldn't see their arm hair or anything, and big thick sideburns and all of this stuff. And it's just, when you grow up and you see that is just normal in people of similar descent to me, just how it is. That's just normal. Like I was saying with the pigmentation and with things like that, it's so important that these things that are normal are normalized, and that we get to see them, and that we get to accept ourselves and make peace with the fact that there isn't anything wrong with how we look, and that we don't need to be making ourselves feel that way. And if this isn't an issue for you, I'm so glad. Like, if you've already gotten to a place where you accept yourself and you love yourself and you feel good in your body, I'm so buzzing for you. Like, it's just so freeing. And if you've grown up always at peace with the body, or you've had a kind of nourishing household where you've not heard any negative self-talk and stuff, then I'm so glad, because that's so healthy and wonderful. So if you don't need this, then I'm glad to hear it. But if you do, then yeah, just be careful about the way you speak to yourself. When you say things like, oh, I'm so fat, I'm ugly, like, you're telling yourself that, and you wouldn't say that to somebody else. I know you wouldn't say that to somebody else, especially somebody that you love. So then do not say those things about yourself. And if you've got kids as well, like, doubly important to not say negative things about your body or your appearance in front of your kids. I don't know if you've heard your parents say something about themselves, or somebody else you love say something about themselves around you. It's horrible hearing people you love who you think there's absolutely nothing wrong with how they look, and they say things like, oh, I'm fat, I look disgusting, whatever. Like, it's really hard to hear, and it makes you feel insecure too in turn. The way empowered people make other people feel empowered, the same way people talking negatively on themselves will make you think negatively about yourself too. But yeah, especially if you're around kids, really watch what you say, because you don't want them to start thinking like that young, because that's a whole other problem. And you should be just in general, you shouldn't be talking down on yourself. Like, gotta up that self-love and just really fake it till you make it. Like, if you don't believe that yet, if you don't think you look great yet, just say it. Just, your mind will believe you either way. If you're telling yourself you're ugly, you're gonna believe it. Like, don't do that to yourself. Don't play yourself like that, because A, it's not true. We're all fucking stunning, and I mean that. Like, we really are all beautiful. And if you're not feeling great, you can always just build your confidence in other ways. Like, maybe, obviously there's no one right way to dress or anything, and I don't think people should have to follow certain clothing rules or anything like that for their body type. But what I will suggest is, for example, me being pear-shaped, and then if I was wearing something that didn't fit, like if I was wearing something that A, didn't fit me right, or B, didn't suit my body shape, not even in a fashion way, just generally just didn't fit right because of the shape of it, then I tend to feel shit in that thing. So for example, because I'm bottom heavy, if I wear something that's like drop waist that sits at the hips, it normally looks really off on me because I go like in at the waist and then out. So having something that just goes straight and like clings to my hips makes me look really boxy, whereas that's not my shape. So actually embracing your shape and wearing things that fit it properly and fit it well will make you feel so much more confident in yourself. So that's definitely something I just wanted to add in, because yeah, dressing to suit your shape, not follow set, like, you know, when people say, oh, don't wear stripes and stuff to make you look wide. I don't give a shit about things like that. Wear the stripes, look wide, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't have to follow things like that, but I would say wearing things that flatter your shape. Obviously I only know from my experience what suits my shape, but for example, high-waisted jeans, high-waisted pants, like those paper bag style pants, they look fucking great if you've got bigger thighs. Like, they really are so comfortable, for one, because jeans are really not doing it for me. I only really wear jeggings, but I just wear them like 0.4% of the time because I just don't need that level of discomfort in my life. But high-waisted everything looks so good, and it's about just making yourself feel good in what you're wearing so that you embrace your body type more because of that. For example, I've got a friend who her favourite feature on her body is her legs. She loves her legs. So she's always got her legs out. She wears, you know, short shorts, so she's got her legs out and she rocks it. Like, it's about making the most of whatever your body shape is. And like, you don't, obviously you can be as covered up as you want, as uncovered up as you want, but just not working against it. Because I see a lot of people, they feel big, in inverted commas, they feel big and then they just shove something really loose fitting on to hide their body. Whereas if they were to wear something more fitted to their body, they'd probably feel a lot better about their body and a lot more comfortable, and actually not as just shapeless and big as they might think that they are, because most of the time everyone's got some kind of shape and they're just covering it up. So yeah, dressing to flatter your body. And also one thing that I've kind of struggled with is in the past is I would just keep clothes thinking, oh yeah, one day this will fit me again, and then feeling bad that it didn't fit me again, even though I had no intention of losing that amount of weight to fit into them ever again. So especially recently, I've just let go of loads of clothes, even if they were beautiful. I just thought there's no point it sitting in my wardrobe when I can't wear it. Like, I can't wear it. And even if I want to lose some weight, I'm never going to be losing the amount of weight to fit back in that, because don't care that much. So there's no point it being there. Having clothes that fit you is important. I remember when I went up a jeans size, a pants size a couple of years ago, and it was so frustrating because none of my jeans or pants fit me anymore. So I just bought a bigger size. I just bought the size that would actually fit me. And there's nothing, I've heard people say things like about themselves, like, oh, I used to be this size and I used to be that size. And I get it. My clothes used to be a lot smaller too, but no one gives a fuck. No one's checking what label is in your pants. Do you know what I mean? No one gives a shit what clothing size you are. Like, literally not one person will ever give a fuck about it. So just buy the bigger size that fits you and just be comfortable in your clothes. If you're trying to squeeze into jeans that don't fit you anymore, you're going to feel shit. If you put on a pair of jeans and they fit you perfectly to the size you are now, you're going to feel good and you're going to feel confident. So assess what in your wardrobe might be making you feel shit without you realising, because the chances are you just need to size up on some things and you'll feel a lot better. Or you could pack away the clothes that are making you feel rubbish about yourself. That's also an option. But yeah, there's no need to be like holding on to that negativity when you don't need to be. So yeah, get clothes that fit you, get clothes that you feel comfortable in, and just clothes that make you feel amazing. Don't hide away. You're not on this earth to be hiding away. Embrace that main character energy. Feel good in yourself. And that doesn't mean you have to wear clothes that fit you dead tight or fitted, but just that fit you well and comfortable and don't make you feel squeezed or like uncomfortable. Just, yeah, get comfy, embrace yourself and feel fabulous. And back to my tip from, I think, one of the other episodes where I'm saying do a photo shoot, like feel yourself. You don't need to be a certain size or weight to be sexy or to be fucking a goddess, do you? You can literally embrace yourself right now and understand that you're sexy, perfect, beautiful, hot as fuck right now, and own that. You don't need to lose weight to be sexy or to be attractive or to be beautiful. You just need to own how you are right now. Remember that confidence is attractive. Self-acceptance and self-love makes you glow from the inside. Like, you're a fucking masterpiece, so own it. And I reposted something the other day about how you don't have to lose weight, for example, to fit into a wedding dress and things like that. And I just wanted to make a note of that on here too. Like, I see so many people stressing about losing weight for the wedding because they want to be tiny and all of this. And it is such like an obsession that society seems to have with like wanting to be smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's wild because you don't need to be smaller to be valuable. Like, it's a madness, isn't it? It's just a madness when you really think about it, because you're allowed to exist and take up space in this world and eat and enjoy your life. You don't need to be, there's that meme, isn't there, that always goes around. It's like, you're not just here to pay bills and weigh yourself till you die. Like, just live your life, enjoy yourself, embrace yourself, feel good about yourself. You are a unique being. And even for special occasions like a wedding or something, you don't need to put that pressure on yourself to be a certain size or weight for your wedding. For my wedding, I literally bought a dress that fit me at the time I bought it, which was like 8 months before the wedding. And I thought, okay, well, it is what it is either way. It fits me now, and it had room for if I put weight on, and it had room to look fine if I lost some weight, and it was fine. And I didn't put any pressure on myself, and I just thought, I don't need that. There was enough else going on, especially with my wedding, but that's a story for another time. But yeah, you don't need to pressure yourself to fit into things for certain occasions. I know it's hard if you've already got something that you love and you want to wear it, or it's something you can't buy a similar thing to. But in general, if you've got an occasion coming up, instead of putting the pressure on yourself, just find something that fits, get something that fits and make that work instead. But yeah, enjoy your body, love yourself, embrace yourself, and don't waste any more years or days or months of your life feeling shit about yourself when you don't need to, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with you, I'm telling you now. And I just want to end this episode with a quote that was a real game changer for me and that I absolutely love, which is to do with this same kind of topic. It's by Anne Lamott. And the quote is, "Oh my God, what if you woke up someday and you're 65 or 75 and you never got your memoir or novel written, and you didn't go swimming in those warm pools on oceans all those years because your thighs were jiggly and you had a nice big comfortable tummy, or you were just so strung out on perfectionism and people pleasing that you forgot to have a big juicy creative life of imagination and radical silliness and staring off into space like when you were a kid, it's going to break your heart. Don't let this happen. I love that quote. Don't miss out on life just because of the way you think of your perfect body. Wear the dress, wear the swimsuit, get naked, feel sexy for you, and it will improve your confidence and self-esteem in every other area of your life too. Can pretty much guarantee you that. Anyway, go love yourself, and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode.